again. All right, so we finished the yellow flower pretty much. We may come back at a later time and do some more to it, but I actually like it pretty well the way it is. All right, so now what we're going to do is figure out what color do we want to do the background. And if you look at it, there are areas where it's almost black and shades of gray. Because the background is so dark, it helps to pop the flower. We're not going to worry too much about the brick over in this area. We're just going to pretend like it's just leaves. As the artist, you get to make those decisions. But I played with some colors, and you could go with a light aqua green color. That would work, and then have your leaves be really, really dark. Or you could play with various other colors until you find a color you like. You're the artist. You get to decide what color you like. All right, so this one I did, which had more of the alizarin crimson in it. And this one I decided on has more of the ultramarine in it. Either one of them would be acceptable. For whatever reason, I'm feeling more blue today and less red. But to get to this color, I used Viridian green, ultramarine blue, and some alizarin crimson. And it's all... This is just alizarin, this one is just Viridian and ultramarine. This one is just more ultramarine. And then I started adding in some red. So you can see how the red changes it. All right, so I've got my reference here, but I'm not really going to worry about it too much because this is, after all, just the background. I mixed up quite a bit of this. There's probably about 2 teaspoons, maybe. And periodically you'll want to go ahead and shake it up a little bit so that the color remains consistent. And I like using a flat brush for this because it allows you to come in beside the It holds a lot of water, and it comes in very nicely right up next to the leaves that you want to go around. That's why I like using it. All right, and then you take it, tip it on its corner, and using just the corner of the brush, bring it right up next to the whatever it is the flower petal. Goodness gracious. Oh, you can definitely tell it's Monday. Okay, and you're going to use a lot of paint, a lot of water, and you're going to work quickly. All right. Again, I'm using the side of the brush to get up between the leaves, and quite a bit of paint. Keep it wet on the edge. And the reason I have these leaves come all the way to the edge in so many places where you might not see them in the picture is because that gives me a place to stop. If you tried to paint this entire thing, you could do it with a larger brush. But by using a smaller brush, which is what I've recommended you buy, you do need places where you can stop. The larger the brush, the more control you're going to need. If you find that you've got too much paint, you can always take a tissue behind the page and let a little of it run off, or you can just let it run together and do some interesting things. I prefer just letting it run together and doing some interesting things. So you're just going to continue to do exactly that all the way around where you can use the flat of the brush and get up next to it, great. And remember, you can always turn your brush and hold it more straight up and down from the page, and you'll get a sharper edge. Okay, that's all there is to it. Keeping it wet, come to your next area. And don't worry if you get just a little outside the lines, it's not a real big deal. All right, and then you can let it run a little bit more if you want. You can move it around a little bit. I prefer just to leave it alone and let it do its own thing. All right, this is what you will do all the way around the whole page, filling in the background and this is going to be the ultimate background. No, that's not the word I'm thinking of. What you're doing is a darker color so that you bring out your leaves. Words are escaping me. It's definitely going to... You have to laugh at yourself, guys. I mean, honestly, when you're learning something new, there's always going to be some moments where you're not on top of your game. All right, so if I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, oh, goodness gracious, that's an awful lot of paint right there in that one corner, you can take the tip of your paper towel and blot a little of it off. I personally like it. I think it's going to give some cool effects. If you wanted to do it, you could add salt, and that would break it up even more than it's breaking up on its own. By mixing your colors yourself, you start to see where the colors separate just a little bit. If you can buy and use just out of the tube your paints in various colors, and they will be consistently just only that color. But if you like how it breaks out and does its own thing, when you mix your own colors, you get some, to me, more interesting effects. All right, so that's all there is to that. We're going to pause this and finish it out.